because first to do anything you have to find your settings. So all you have to do, options, controls. You can change any of these options or whatever anytime you want. But this is my sense currently. These are my dead zones, my trigger zones, and I've advanced right here. The advanced is where it's at because regular looking makes it faster. That's your regular sense, but the advanced makes it easier with different scopes. Because with that one, it's, look, let's look at the difference. So this feels a little faster. Right here, not so much. That's also mainly what you want to use to find your settings. Like first, you gotta experiment around, change them around and stuff, and then you can basically practice everything else. Second thing of settings is, I think it's at accessibility. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So tinnitus, you turn that off. So when you get flashbangs, you don't get like your ears ringing and your stuns. You can set them to white glare and dark glare. I personally mind a dark glare because whenever it's like dark in my room, I don't want it like flashbanging me in real life. But another thing is team colors. I have mine set to red and my opponent set to blue. You can have it set whatever you want. I just prefer this because blue, it's easier to see the outline compared to red, which is darker, so it'll blend in more with the shadows basically. And that's basically the best thing about the settings. Alright, now let's get on to crosshair placement. Right here. Stuff. This is where you want to aim your crosshair at, because no matter where you're at, this is head level. If someone's standing up straight, this is head level. You will always aim at the head. Because one shot, headshot game, right? That at least sometimes it is. So head level right here. That's the main thing you need to worry about. Crosshair placement. You aim at the head at all times when clearing doorways. And it works 80% of the time. So that's about it for crosshair placement. Actually, no, that's not it. Because when you're crouching in a gunfight, if you spam crouch, your head doesn't go up or down. It stays in the same spot. So if you're spam crouching, your head's gonna stay right there. But if you crouch in the middle of a gunfight, your head's gonna move down to right there. So if you see them start crouching in the gunfight, bring your aim down a little bit, but make sure you keep it. And another thing for players who aren't like able to control their recoil as well, if you're aiming at the head, aim around neck level. Because you may get a lucky headshot in, or like the upper chest area, because you may get a lucky headshot in, or you may hit their neck and their chest, so it'll count as body shots if you hit them enough times. So that's probably about it for crosshair placement. Now, yeah, clearing angles and pre-firing. Like, if there was someone holding this angle right here, right there on me, right? I would not wide swing this completely. I wouldn't like, oh, there's a guy right there, I'm gonna peek this. You're not ever gonna wide swing. That's how you die majority of the time. Use 1, 2, or you could quick peek it, quick peek, quick peek, right? Quick peek, shoot, quick peek, shoot, quick peek, shoot. Another thing that needs to be gone over is pre-firing. Common angles need to be cleared. And to do that, you need pre-fire. Say, you don't have to pre-fire off rip to give away your position, but if you see someone there when you peek it, and they see you know, you could continuously shoot back and forth at them. And then if you hear someone in the corner, you clear the angle of the doorway first, or make sure you're not exposed to any other angles. You clear the angles first before you expose yourself to any other new angles. So, if I haven't cleared this angle yet and I swing in, now I'm open to the door, open right here, open there, there, and here. There are plenty of angles in every map that leaves you, like, I chose Oregon because it's the easiest example. But that's basically the best thing for it. Because pre-firing angles, say someone's in the corner, I hear them, right? I check, clear this right here, and then I hear them. Ooh, 1, 2. You pre-fire. And pre-firing is not firing when you see them. Look at my bullets. I shoot as I peek. Shoot as I peek. Shoot as I peek. Shoot as I peek. That's another thing that needs to be gone over right there. That's very important. And here's another thing. Perspective. Say I'm right here on the doorway. Actually, hold on, let me use this. This is an example right here. So say someone's peeking that doorway. And they, I see a little part of them, right? Ooh, 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 there it is. Right there. I see barely part of them. They're gonna see my whole body sticking out because how close I am to the doorway. That's what perspective is. Perspective, or peeker's advantage, as most people call it when they die, is something like that. But if I'm back here to where I do have a small angle, he can hardly see me. Because if I have a drone set, I'll put a drone right there. And I'll run back over here. So say I'm clearing this. Look at how little that is right there. Like, if I'm clearing this, unless I'm directly close on the door, right here, I'm hardly gonna see that if someone's there, especially if it's just their head. But if say the drone's right here, look how much easier that is to see. Or drone's not really a good example. If I can find the type of angle, yeah. Look how much easier that is to see compared to if it was back all the way back here. Like, I'm hardly gonna see that guy because I'm gonna be looking right here. First, I'm gonna check this. If I don't see anyone there, I may hardly see a bullet, like a barrel sticking out. They may shoot me as soon as I peek that, because the advantage or whatever. But if that happens to you, you could also just pre-fire and clear it. That's also where map knowledge comes into play, but we'll get on that later. That's probably about it for perspective. Now, I want to talk about quick peeking. Quick peeking is... Ooh, there's a guy right there. The little micro movements you do when you peek. If you're peeking and you clip the doorway every time, like, ooh, 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 that's no good. No good, no good. You have to get yourself a wide enough angle, but not too wide, while continuously moving back and forth. And you could pre-fire while doing so. Now, if you're just continuously shooting the doorway, you're not moving far out enough or swinging wide enough. Like, look at this. If I'm swinging out wide enough, and this dude if I'm not doing it wide enough, and this dude just sees my little head poking out, and I hardly see him, because he's right here. He's back here. He's gonna see my head, boom, boom, boom. Because all the bullets that I shot right up here, that didn't clip the doorway. That didn't make any sense, but the bullets that I shot that didn't hit the doorway are in the direction of him, of clearing the angle. Now, if you know someone's going to be at this angle, at this doorway, you want to clear it first. But quick peeking is one of the best things you could do, because it could make them pre-fire, run out of ammo. So, say someone's right there, but I know someone else is there, so I'm going to quick peek, boom. Quick peek, boom. Quick peek, like, make sure you're not exposing yourself to another angle that you can't adjust to. Because quick peeking is amazing for that. I'm gonna go on the sound cues. Alright, on the sound cues. You hear how loud alright, listen to how loud this is. Boom, you can hear that from a mile away. Now compare it to if I'm using my sound cues like a flashbang to get out of it. So, didn't hear a single thing. But that takes time to get used to the sound cues, because you have to learn when stuff's gonna go off and stuff like that. Like, if you hear someone, if you hear that, you know they're crouching. The more you hear their feet shuffle, the lower they're going to the ground. Because if you hear this, you're gonna be like, oh, well, he's moving, right? You're gonna hear his hands hitting the ground and everything. The sound is gonna be different compared to him regularly walking. Sound cues are a huge part of the game. And another part is the use of utility. Because, say, oh, I cleared this corner right here, right? Well, I cleared the angle, not the corner. Cleared this angle, but I know someone's back here, so I'm gonna use utility. Clear them out. Boom. Pre-fire, pre-fire, pre-fire. That's an amazing thing. Quick peeking, utility, and sound cues all kind of go into each other. Because you use flashbang as utility to clear it. You hear flashbang go off. You quick peek as the sound goes off for the flashbang. But another thing is, say, oh, I know someone's gonna peek this doorway. No one would ever do this, even in the lower ranks. But one thing I'm saying is don't hold angles. I know someone's gonna peek this doorway, so I'm gonna sit here for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Don't hold an angle for more than maybe 10 seconds, if even, because you wanna always have the advantage. You always want to be moving. Not always, but like not sitting in the same spot to where you can be easily pre-fired, because they drone you out. You're still on the angle. You're like, oh no, I can beat them. But then what happens? They peek, they pre-fire you. They use utility on you. That's what happens a lot. That's what happens if you sit on angles. Say, I'm on an angle here. Someone drones me out. Shoot the drone. I play off a different angle for a second. Check another angle. Continuously keep checking that angle they came from and try to clear. Because majority of the time, if they clear an angle, they're going to try to go from that angle. If they clear here, majority of the times, they're going to try to go from this direction. So they're probably going to try to get wall or get B-side. It's like, and you'll hear if they sprint around. You will hear if they're over here. And then now on to wide swinging. Wide swinging is, say, this kind of fits into quick peeking. But this is the exact opposite. Say, I know someone's right here, right? So I'm gonna swing all the way so I can see him. Swing all the way so I can see him, rather than so he can hardly see me. Not playing on the door too much. I have less of an angle that can be seen. Right here. You don't hold it. You pre-fire, 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 pre-fire. He's scared to peek because he knows you're there watching. He also knows you're trying to pre-fire him out of his spot. So don't overswing it. Because if you're right here, you overswing it, he can see my whole body. Here, he can see maybe my left side of the body at most, if I'm quick peeking good enough. So that's another part about it. And that's basically all about not overswinging. And so here's another thing about gunfights. Say, oh, I'm in a gunfight with a dude, I'm aiming head high, aiming head high, right? You know, we're both aiming head high. boom, throw in one crouch. But don't be like, you could throw in one crouch, two crouches, but don't be, because it's just not effective. You stay in the same spot. If you just keep spamming crouch, you stay in the same spot. You crouch, boom. You crouch, adjust. Crouch once, adjust. Crouch once, adjust. Like, you do it to throw them off, usually. And this is usually against people who aren't as experienced. Because they'll be aiming lower, sure. But they won't be expecting someone to throw a crouch in the middle of a gunfight. And that's another part that plays into that is playing aggressive. Playing against a lower ranked person, they're gonna be wanting to sit here, hold an angle. Sit here, as soon as they see someone, they're gonna, start shooting. Like, see ball, get ball, basically. Don't be scared to play aggressive against them. They are the best people to play aggressive against, because they're not gonna expect you to run in, say, you clear right here. I'm not saying just run in like a madman, but I'm saying, you clear angle, you clear angle, you clear angle, you use utility, you play aggressive and swing. Don't be sitting here and stalling yourself. Say you use utility, and then you just sit here and wait until you hear the flashbang, like, effects go away. And then you just wasted your utility. Basically. You wasted the utility you used on that person. I use a flashbang. I don't have a flashbang anymore, but still. You use a flashbang, you wait till it goes away. Oh, peek, peek. Oh, he knows I'm here. He's shooting. Right? Like, you can play aggressive. Don't play scared, but also don't play overly aggressive, if that makes any sense. Like wide swinging, it's aggressive. You don't need to do that. I'm saying play aggressive whilst in a gunfight. So, don't be afraid to push. Don't be afraid to push them. I'm not saying, like, aggressively peek. I'm not saying aggressively get into the fight. I'm saying aggressively take that fight. So, like, for example, if you're actually fighting, you're not gonna sprint at the dude before, like, while he has his hands up or whatever. You're gonna wait until he drops his guard in the middle of the fight. Then you're gonna rush while punching him, like, in real life. This is kind of basically the same thing as fighting in real life. You don't aggressively start a fight. You aggressively you play aggressively during the fight. But not overly aggressive to where you mess up and throw yourself off. That's it basically for, like, gunfights and stuff. So here's another awesome thing. Here's a really good thing. Slow walking, boom. The best thing you could do. Because people at lower ranks aren't going to hear most things, especially if you can cut them off with stuff. Like, if I called with Dokkaebi, I was slow walking, they can't hear anything. Slow walking is way better than crouch walking, because if you're walking like this, you're not going to have time to, like, oh, you see a guy, you see a whole team, they see you, you're not going to have time to, ooh. But if you're slow walking, you can already, like, get in the movement without having to waste that, because time matters in this game, like, even down to the seconds. It matters a whole lot in the game. And another thing about the positions, proning is louder than crouching and slow walking. Slow walking is the best movement you can do when you're trying to scoop on someone. You're never gonna, like, say you're in an angle and you keep consistently moving. This is the loudest movement you can hear someone. Like, hear someone use. And another thing that needs to be taught, well, hold on. Alright, so proning. Proning's terrible. Hardly do it unless you're, like, you can do it to have fun. If you want to play this game to have fun, that's fine. This is not stuff I tell you have to do. This is just recommended. This is stuff that actually helps. Like, helped me, at least, when I had a 1.5 KD at one point. I used to be decent at the game. I'm not anymore, but still. And another thing, lateral peeking. Lateral peeking, I meant for this to go in with the gunfights, but lateral peeking saves lives. Look how fast I am. Look how fast I am compared, like, comparison. I'm back here. Lateral peeking is where you move straight in one direction. You move faster while lateral peeking. You move faster. Say, instead of moving diagonally, you move straight to the left, straight to the left, straight to the right. Rather than quick peeking or trying to peek like this. Because you take too much time. This is way faster than this. And this gives you less of an advantage because you expose yourself more whilst they have more of an angle on you. Now on to positioning. Positioning, still need to work on it because I'm not no pro player when it comes to positioning, but it's a key role into like where you're wanting to play and how you win games. Positioning, you could be the worst player but have the best positioning and win most games. Say, oh, I'm playing against someone who's wanting to, I'm trying to think of a scenario. Yeah, whatever. So say I'm playing against someone who wants to push main bedroom, right? I'm going to position myself to where I can challenge them. And if I have the proper positioning, I can scare them off of that spot, or I could kill them. Say they're pushing a master bedroom. I position myself right here. They swing me. Oop, missed shots. I know they're in the corner. I'm gonna position myself to where I can easily find the best spot to take a gunfight or win a gunfight, or get out of a gunfight entirely. Positioning saves lives. Like, I'm right here in the corner, right? I'm gonna get flashbang and clear it out of the corner. But if I'm playing at the doorway, I'm not playing too close to the doorway. I know no one's coming up armory stairs. I have a teammate clearing that, checking that. And then I know there's a dude in master droning it out right now. Shot his drone. So I'm gonna keep my position to where I can continuously move up and advance on him. And then, oh, he's in closet now. I'm positioned here. He swings out of closet, boom, boom, boom. Dead. My positioning isn't the best, but it's better than most. So that's about it for positioning. Another movement tip. Sprinting. Sprinting is worse than proning. Never sprint. Say, you're wanting to go across the map. Never do, ooh, 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 ooh. Let me go to get here. Like, unless you're in prep phase, don't do that. Never sprint long distances. Sprinting is fine for short distances, sure. Say I'm trying to get there, right? I'm gonna sprint down the stairs, boom. Because if I sprint through, you know how many angles I expose myself to? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's probably more. Yeah, right there, because if someone's tailing me. So, I'm going to sprint a short distance and then pay attention to my surroundings and use my environment. I think that's about it for movement. Now, let's get on to roles. The role of the character is meant, like roamer. You're not meant to be, if you're a roamer, you're not meant to be a top frag. You're also not meant to be flanking every time. Flanks are okay, but that doesn't mean, say, I'm going to sit on cams in basement, right? Oh, I'm on cams. I see an attacker on the cameras. I'm gonna wait until they're inside, and then let me flank now. No, roamers and or lurkers are meant to stall. Say I know someone's coming in from main, right? What I'm gonna do, I'm going to play elbow, and then as soon as they come in, I'm going to challenge them as much as possible without costing my own life. I'm gonna get cost for my life. If you take off 30 seconds from an attack, that is a godly amount. That is amazing. That helps your team so much. It doesn't matter if you're playing terrible. If you're a roamer and you're stalling for time, or just make sure they can't get in the building, it is amazing. It's also meant for catching attackers off guard. Say, the attacker isn't expecting you to be here. They run in the door. You instantly pre-fire. You catch them off guard. Then they're in the building stuck with you. You have the environment because they're panicked. They're flustered because they didn't expect them to be there. Your teammates are playing around you. Their teammates aren't playing around them because you're singling them out. So you can push them to your team so your team can help you. Or you could take on them solo, whatever helps you. That is the way roamers should play. Well, I mean, that's the way I recommend roamers play. You can play them a bunch of different ways. You can play them a lot of different ways, but that's basically it. Entry fraggers. Entry fraggers are important. Entry people in general. Because you could have someone who has 1,000,000 kills. They are not helping the team because they're not impactful. Say, I'm an entry fragger. I am going to clear for my teammates who are playing support or trying to help us plant. Say, I'm in the building, right? If I didn't clear that and someone dies from there, and they're like, I died from there, and you're like, oh, that's not my fault. I didn't clear that. And you walk in here. There's a guy in there. You just walk on by straight into sight rather than being like, rather than clearing it, like all the way. Because if you're an entry fragger, you're meant to, majority of the time, sacrifice your life. You're not always going to get an ace. That's not always going to happen. But if you're trying to clear sight for your teammates, say, I'm trying to plant games, and they want me to get wall, right? Well, they're wanting support to get wall. Thermite and Thatcher to get wall. I'm going to clear angle, and that doesn't mean just rush in, which rushing is okay, but not like all the time. Clear angle, clear angle, clear angle. Use my utility, my Dokkaebi call. I hear someone in here. Boom. Clear that, clear that, clear that. Here's someone here. Check angle, check angle, check angle, check angle, check angle. And then I'm gonna leave enough room to where my team, I'm gonna clear this, leave enough room to where my team can push in here, where I'm still in sight protecting them. And then whenever they get into sight and I have more teammates with me, I can then push up to challenge more fights. There's another thing I want to say. Never have a main. Say you're maining Ashe just so you can entry frag, and you're hardly getting any value. What if Ashe gets banned? What if another teammate plays Ashe? Because you never want to continuously play the same person. You want to catch them off guard. It's a team of, well, it's a game of adapting. Your team has to adapt to the environment around you. Because there's so many things. Like, I could play a Rooney. A Rooney gets major value out of here. These three. They ban a Rooney. I could play Denari. I could play Melusi. Melusi and a Rooney are amazing picks. Then there's some people who are only good on certain bomb sites. So that's another thing I wanted to say about never having a main. Learning how to play your role. Which fits into saying how entry fraggers and roamers should work. Learn how to play every role. And learn that you can play certain characters into different roles. Now, as I was saying, Bolo, he plays Finka. He frags out his Finka. He's an entry frag. But he also uses his Finka gadgets to help the team. Because if you're Finka, you don't have to be support. People are like, well, you're playing Finka, you'll have to be support. It's like, it says dog support. Yeah, he's recommended to play that way. You can play a passive-aggressive support type player. But if you want to be an entry op, you could play Finka. Finka is amazing. Because you can help your teammates on the other side of them, like, while trying to get in the building. If you're trying to clear somewhere, you can assist them by not being there and using your gadget to help them. Learning how to play roles differently on different characters can be useful. Because nobody's going to be expecting a Finka to be pushing in. Like, I'm going to go back to the Bolo example. He mains Finka. He mains an entry frag Finka. Majority of the time. He walks in, but he's also Bolo, so this is a bad example. But if, like, you say you're trying to clear something, you're Finka. You cleared it. Your teammates are getting shot at. Ooh, think a boost. Help them out if they need a revive. And then you could also assist if you need some health or whatever. But I'm not saying don't play Finka and support your team. I'm saying learn how to be flexible with your roles. Learn how to use characters differently. Experiment with characters and their roles. That's basically it for the roles of characters and stuff like that. So anyways, the game overall. Say I am going... Oh, let's say I've had plenty of times I've literally gone like 15 in 5, and it's just been me baiting for kills, so the kills haven't been useful. Say, I'm last alive, right? Last alive, I'm sitting outside waiting for them to jump out. They jump out, kill, 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 kill. Oh, I got 4 kills and I died to the final guy. Are them kills helpful? No. How would they be? You're baiting outside for your team. Like, for your kills. You're not helping your team. It's a team-based game at the end of the day. You're always going to need your team to play with you. If your team doesn't want to play with you, learn how to fit into the way they play. Like, if the team isn't, like, if y'all aren't fitting properly, learn how to play on your own to where you can still help the team. Because impactful kills, it's not, like, a hard concept. That's why entry fraggers are so important. You get an impactful kill to start off with. That's amazing, because you get the first pick of the game that, like, judges the trajectory of the game if the team follows up with that. That doesn't mean if someone's bottom fragging, they're doing terrible. That just means they may not be baiting for kills, they may be playing for, like, actual value. And going on to the topic of the game overall, do not panic. Say, I hear someone sprinting. Oh, I see someone come around. Oh, like, that's not gonna get you a kill, just shooting randomly. Just breathe, because that dude's gonna be as scared as you are, most likely. So, you hear someone sprinting around the corner. Calm down, pre-fire, or wait till you see him, and then you could, oh, quick peek, oh, quick peek, oh, quick peek, oh, quick peek. Like, you can wait until you see someone come around the corner, shoot them, rather than, oh no, there's a guy around the corner. You don't have to always shoot first. Swing or be swung, but that doesn't mean that you should be wasting ammo. Like, say that dude panics too, misses a bunch of shots, he starts reloading. You can swing him then. If you don't panic and the other guy does, you can use that to your advantage and play off of his panic, because he'll guaranteed be scared, so he'll be running around the corner, see someone starts to like starts panicking. So wait until you hear something like him reloading, or you just hear him around the corner, and you don't panic about it. You just wait, or don't wait. You could push and play on him, because if he's scared enough, playing aggressive will work against him. And playing a role that suits you is fantastic. You can play any role in the game. It's just, I'm the flex role. I play any role in the game, also because I've learned every role in the game. That's the major thing. You learn every role in the game, you learn how to play every role in the game. I like playing Breach most of all, but I can entry frag if need be. I've plenty of times where I've had to entry frag just because my team hasn't been getting kills or stuff like that. But I like playing with my team, because if I die off on my own, I feel like I don't get any value, I don't assist my team. But if I'm able to protect my team or help them with anything, that's fantastic. It's like a huge help to them and everyone around them. Like, my whole team could be focused on, like, be amazing. Say I have an entry frag. He dies off rip because he didn't clear anything. He didn't clear nothing. But I'm playing a flex role. I'm playing with my team. I could then turn into support player rather than pushing up. Like, I could be the guy in the back who roam clears. Say I'm playing knock instead of entry fragging because our Zofia died, or I'm playing Zofia and our knock died. I can play roam clear then. I can make sure it's clear for our teammates rather than being like, oh, hey, I'm just going to sit right here as my team is on the stairs, rather than clearing the stuff to make sure nobody's coming up the stairs, nobody's coming around hall, nobody's coming from behind, and I can make sure I clear to get the value for my team and the kills. Learning callouts. Learning callouts is amazing. Like, there are so many different callouts for the same spot, but that's the thing. You want to learn callouts you and your friends know, because if you're using callouts that they don't know, how are they going to be like, oh, go to game room. What's game room? You know that one with the foosball table? Oh, I call it like, nobody calls it this, but I call it a pool table, or something like that. There's no pool table there, but still, like, just for a random example. No, I call it foosball, like, something like that. Learn callouts that they use, or you can teach them callouts that they need to know. Because you don't have to teach them, oh, this is Armory Corridor. You could just say top Armory Stairs. Top, front stairs. Something like that. Top white is what I call that. This is Armory. You don't have to call this Armory. You could call it whatever you want. You call it weapons, whatever. If they know what it is, it's going to be fine. It doesn't matter if someone says your callouts are bad. Well, it does matter. But if they know what the callout is and they don't play off of the callout, it's their fault. Say, oh, there's someone playing a Trophy Fox statue. You don't have to say Trophy Fox statue. You could just say, there's someone playing back left in Trophy. And they'll check it. Oh, they see someone there. Boom, 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 dead. Boom, boom, dead. There's someone playing hard left, and then you may hear them. Boom. Dead. And they try to swing out, you'll have a teammate to help back you up. Because the call out, it's supposed to be not specifically for you, but for your team. So saying, oh, hey, there's a dude, like saying, watch out behind you. That's not going to be directed towards anyone. You don't have to call them by the username either. You could just say, hey Doc, or hey Rook, or hey Jim Bob Joe. You don't have to call them by their username. You can. But if it's what they're preferred, that's fine. But I'm saying, don't direct the call out. Don't say, hey, they're behind you, and you have a teammate in Attic, a teammate in Trophy, one in Master, one on White Stairs. Who's going to be looking behind them? Guarantee there's going to be a dude going up White Stairs. He turns around, someone swings him from games or dorm. They die. That's a major issue with callouts that I hear a lot. They're directed towards one guy, but you say it to everyone on the team, rather than saying, hey, so-and-so, hey, Smoke, there's a dude right behind you. Like, right behind you is not a good callout, unless you could say, like, hey, I don't know where they're at exactly, but they were, like, that direction. But saying, they were west. So say, imagine saying they're west, and I am right here, right? This whole spot, from here to the edge of the map, is west. Saying, hey, they're right behind you. It's not a great call out, but it works. It's better than using, like, directly, they're north. That's like a whole different part of the map too. But saying they're to your left, like close left, like right here. Oh, I swing it, boom, hard left, dead. And then instead of saying, hey Rook, they're to your left, just say, hey, they're to your left. You don't know who they're, like, talking to. You don't know if they're directing towards you. So you end up getting paranoid because your team isn't playing off you in telling you exactly where they are. And since if you're not playing together, it's gonna make everyone go insane. The callouts will be terrible. Alright, now on to another topic. Consistency. Whether you're going consistently 3 and 5 or consistently 6 and 4, or like within that ballpark. Consistency, whether you're do consistently bad or consistently good, is improvement. That means you're consistently doing some things every match. You just need to change what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Well, you don't have to change what you're doing right, but if you're able to consistently like do good or bad, that means you're improving. That means you're consistently doing like certain things right, but you're doing some things wrong, and you could work with that. Inconsistency is the worst thing possible, because one game you could be like bolo, you could be hitting shots, and then next gunfight you start going painting the Mona Lisa around someone. That doesn't help like your case. And then your positioning's good one game. The next game, you're sitting right here in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But between all those angles. And then you're like, well, I can't help it. I can't help that. Yeah, you can, because your positioning was perfectly fine the game before. Now it wasn't. What happened? Inconsistency doesn't mean you're a bad player. It just means you don't really know what you're doing. It doesn't mean you're bad at the game. It just means you're not honed in yet. And then on to the last thing. Well, the last two things. It's okay to have good and bad days for the game. Because, say, you do bad one day, you're like playing bad. A bad game or a bad day doesn't define a bad player. But it's what they continuously do to help the team that defines if they're a good player or not. A bad player will be like, well, I'm having a bad day. I'll just rush in with Ash. You know, if I get a kill, so what? A bad player will be like, hey, y'all mind if I like try to enter with Ash and help clear? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. And you're like, okay, if I die, it's my fault. Don't take the team's blame for it, even though some of it's the team's fault sometimes. But a good and a bad day, like, there are good bad days in Siege. There are good times, bad times in Siege, or whatever. It's not all sunshines and rainbows. That's another thing that fits into tilt queuing. You're continuously playing bad, and you're like mad. You're very mad. I do this all the time. But you're mad continuously because you keep playing and keep losing. Tilt queuing is when you lose and you keep queuing because you want to win and you're tilted. It's self-explanatory, basically. Say, oh, I just lost 3 games back to back to back. I did good. You know, I went 8-3. I went 6-4. I went 7-2. But I baited every kill. And then you're gonna be like, well, it's not my fault. I'm doing good. My team's the reason I'm losing. No. Like, your team can be the reason you're losing, but at the end of the day, it's a team game. You can be playing by yourself, solo queuing, and then playing off of your, like, without your team at all. And you could bait for every kill and then blame your team. Or you could entry frag, and, like, your teammates could die to people in sight. Whose fault is that? People want to say, well, it's not my fault, I did clear sight. Not all the way. You want to protect your team if you're entry frag. You want to get a pick, clear sight, maybe a pick or two, at off rip, clear sight, so your team can plant. Then they start planting, you're protecting them. Boom. There's a guy right in this corner. And then you're walking an attic doing God knows freaking what. And they swing out of attic, and then you're like, you get mad because you're like, well, it's not my fault, I got kills. Kills don't define anything majority of the time, because they could be impactless kills. I had plenty of cases of me doing that exact same thing. Like from years ago, from 2 months ago, when I actually played, of doing that exact same thing. Impactful kills. Not panicking, playing the role. Like, consistency, call-outs, tilt queuing. bad days and good days is all under, like, the same category. It's how you play the game. Because if you lose a game or two, you're like, it's fine. I just didn't want to. I don't have to play this game. And you could come back later with a better mindset, be like, you know what? I'm ready to win these few games. Instead of being like, oh, well, you can't end it on a loss, and then you lose 10 more games, and you're like, might as well keep playing. You know, we're already in this deep. Just quit while you can. Unless you're gambling, don't quit. But that's great advice from me. But anyways, tilt queuing. Don't consistently queue and lose. It can be your fault, no matter how high of a KD you have. But that's another thing. It's just how you play the game that can affect you. If you're one of the guys that don't take it as seriously, you can continuously queue as much as you lose. It doesn't matter. You can have a bad day, turn into a good day because you're having fun. But the games